Steve McLaren makes a grand total of 9 changes to the side that beat Steaua Bucharest on Thursday night. Brad Jones and Andrew Taylor the only players to keep their place in the side. There's no place even on the bench for Hasselbank, Viduka or Macaroni. Ray Parlour and Deriva will anchor midfield. James Morrison and Adam Johnson will be on either side of them. Up front, Borough's most used player this season, Yakubu, partners Malcolm Christie, who makes his first start with the side in some 15 months, having scored for the reserves in midweek. For Everton, who have 6 first-teamers out through injury or suspension, it's a little simpler to work out. One change, Tim Cahill has a knee problem, so Alan Stubbs comes into the side. He'll play in central defence. Joseph Yobo moves to right back, where he'll cover for Phil Neville, who's back in central midfield. James Beattie hasn't scored in his last 7 appearances, but did, of course, score the winner against Borough in the league game at Goodison. Well, the ground was still shaking when we arrived. The fans still cheering when we arrived. Thursday night was spectacular. And I'm delighted to say, joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, Gordon McQueen, whose heart rate has just dipped under about 180 after a stunning midweek. Gordon, can Middlesbrough follow it up here? I don't know if this match is necessarily top of their priorities today.
No, I don't think we'll get the drama on show today that we did on Thursday night. It was pretty spectacular stuff, absolutely incredible stuff, but important game nevertheless for certainly some of these Middlesbrough players to try to force their way into Steve McLaren's UEFA Cup final side, and of course for both sets of players, a lot of money at stake to improve your league positions, and what, $500,000 a slot, worth a lot of money to football clubs to finish a slot or 2 higher up the league.
Ray Parlour has a bit of time to shoot here. Wayward with his effort.
Yeah, he just stumbles a little bit when this ball comes across him. Fair old distance out. It's a poor clearance. Just sits up a bit for Ray Parlour. That's it pretty well.
Everton pushing on. Phil Neville. Chances he got of making it, I wonder, to Germany. Sven names his squad a week on Monday. Joseph Yobo pushing on, and well tackled down there, and the home fans enjoyed that tackle from Adam Johnson. Yobo has stayed down and may well need a bit of treatment. He's right in the opposite corner to where the ball is now.
Well, they've just knocked it out of play now, and the referee just going over to have a little look and see what kind of damage has been done to Yobo. I mean, it's a little wheel arch here. A little comes out. Lovely bit of work there, defensive work by Adam Johnson. It's a little bit uncomfortable, Yobo.
Well, he just needs a couple of minutes there. Joseph Yobo and David Moyes will not want to see the start of this game spoiled by injury here. He has problems defensively anyway. Valente out at the moment, Ferrari out as well. A little bit stretched in that area.
Well, I think they're pretty much stretched full stop at this moment in time, Everton. They've got quite a lot of injuries, but I mean, it's not a free kick, it's just unfortunate that. I mean, it's a terrific bit of defensive work by Adam Johnson.
Just an awkward turn perhaps, and David Moyes will hope Joseph Yobo is able to continue. In the meantime, James Morrison will take the throw all the way back to Richard Wright, who started his last 9 Premier League games now. Joseph Yobo is back on, hobbling. And he'll try and run that one off. The Nigerian, who missed a big chunk of the season through the African Nations Cup as well.
James Beattie just losing out to Igor there. He was probably an England hopeful 3-4 months ago, but I don't think he'll be travelling to the World Cup. Although we all await anxiously in the reports on the Wayne Rooney injury.
You never know. James Beattie, top scorer this season, 10 10 goals in 31 Premier League matches for Everton. Scored his first ever Premiership goal, by the way, back in 1998 against Middlesbrough. That was in his Southampton days. Here's Stubbs, now Naismith. Chasing down on him is Morrison. Ball infield for McFadden from Van der Meyde, who gets it back from Phil Neville. Davis has gone forward. Van der Meyde infield to Phil Neville once again. Intelligent pass. Davis tries to flick on for McFadden. Gary Naismith. James Beattie battling with Hugo Ekiok down there. And the Everton man loses out. Morrison forward. Yakubu can't control. Malcolm Christie will latch onto it though. Knocks it into space. And Johnson won't reach that ball.
Just stretching for it a little bit there, Christie. Petit from Middlesbrough. He would have picked that ball up. Acres of space.
Put it on by Leon Osman for Everton. Yobo looks like he's shaken off that knock and will continue here. Phil Neville. What are his World Cup chances? Mr. Versatile in the Everton squad, I wonder, Gordon.
Well, because of his versatility I've just mentioned, it gives him a decent chance. He can play so many different positions, both full-back areas where they've got problems at this moment in time, particularly in the left-back slot. So he's got a chance.
James Morrison looking for Ray Parlour. Will he have the legs to chase down Yobo? Off he goes, Ray Parlour.
Yeah, Yobo seems to be struggling a bit, but certainly in Phil Neville's case there's a big incentive to it. Keep his standards high between now and the end of the season. Gareth Southgate, a massive blow for him if he were to miss the UEFA Cup final. Obviously limped off during the week with that hamstring injury.
Well, he was in tears when he came off early on, Gareth Southgate. On Thursday night he was not quite able to jump for joy at the end with that hamstring problem.
Yeah, it'd be cruel if he were to miss the final, because there's no doubt, in my opinion, over the last 5 years, Gareth Southgate's been at the Riverside Stadium just now. He's been the most important and outstanding player.
He picked up an award before this game for making his 200th appearance for the club as well. 203 now to date. BT challenging with Wheater. Parlour finds Deriva. Thought he might have just showed too much of it there to Davis. The Brazilian evades one challenge and another. This time from Osman, but Joseph Yobo latches onto the loose ball. Neville tries to pick out James Beattie. Shot in the back there from his marker, David Wheater. You can't say Middlesbrough don't entertain, Gordon. They haven't drawn a match in their last 17. 7 wins, 7 defeats since the 2-2 draw with Newcastle back in January.
Well, they've certainly entertained us in the UEFA Cup. 4 goals against Bal. 4 goals against Bucharest. Was it 4 goals against Manchester United here? So, no surprise when you look at their attacking options. Yakubu, Hasselbank, Viduka, Downing, young James Morrison on the ball just now.
Here is Deriva looking for Malcolm Christie. And Stubbs will come across to cover for Everton. Van der Meyde nudges on. McFadden miscontrols. Allows a combination of Parlour and Ekiok to win the ball back from Middlesbrough. Nice run on here for Malcolm Christie. And also, you know, for Johnson, offside flag has stayed down. Teed up there for Yakubu. He went down in the air and no penalty, says the referee. Play continues here. And the home fans buoyed by that early opportunity. Trying to work it free in the corner here. Yakubu again the target. Johnson also hanging around. Here's Deriva, who's never scored a Premier League goal. Parlour has, but not for quite some time. Tony McMahon will try and force to the byline. Andy van der Meijden slides in with the challenge. Down goes McMahon. It'll be a free kick for Middlesbrough.
Well, it's a free kick, there's no doubt about that, in a dangerous situation. Got a little bit of an aerial threat here. Morrison just taking on Van der Meijden. Forwards tackle, tries to put a ball in, maybe try and find the head of Eggeog or David Wheater, who's come up. Youngster, but it's a lovely through ball from Adam Johnston. Christie just tries to come inside, set the shot up for Yakubu. Good recovery work. Everton.
Here comes the Middlesbrough free kick. It's out the way this time by Yobo. Van der Meijden beaten to the ball there by Johnson. Back into a dangerous area it goes. Phil Neville away, and now there's the counter-attack on. And Middlesbrough somewhat exposed to the back. It's Van der Meijden chasing down. James McFadden's in support. Still Andy van der Meijden. He goes down. No free kick, says the referee.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he looks up when he first gets that ball, James McFadden made a great run in behind the Middlesbrough central defender. He really should have picked him out there, and Middlesbrough were in real trouble. It's the first attack of real note by Everton, because Middlesbrough have started much brighter in this game.
Adam Johnson goes down. Assistant referee on the near side signals for a foul. Naismith holds his hand up to apologise.
Yeah, well, it's blatant instruction. I mean, he's just gave a couple of warnings to Simon Davis, so Naismith gets the same treatment here. Knows exactly what he's doing here. Adam Johnson moved over to the right, coming inside, dangerous in his left foot. And now it's an opportunity for the youngster to whip one in with his left foot.
It will be young Adam Johnson who stands over this free kick. Plenty of bodies forward. Big jumpers in there. Hugo Ekiog amongst them. So to Yakubu. That's come off the head of Joseph Yobo, and will be another corner kick for Middlesbrough.
Well, it does well to get his head to that Yobo, because he's really struggling at this moment in time. I mean, in fact, I see Phil Neville shouting over to the bench here. Doesn't think Yobo will be able to continue in this match.
Adam Johnson, full of confidence, you know. He's been involved in all the set plays here. He only signed his first pro contract back in May. Richard Wright comes and claims confidently at the near post. Gets a free kick for his troubles as well. He was clipped as he landed.
Yeah, they were making a substitution now. I mean, Phil Neville's having a word with, shouting over at the dugout, asking the referee to stop the game, which he hasn't done.
Well, he wants 5 minutes to try and shake off whatever problem he's got there, Phil Neville.
Well, it's not Phil Neville, it's obviously he's discussing Yobo's predicament at this moment in time. He got injured in that earlier tackle with Adam Johnson. Phil Neville obviously doesn't think he's up to it. He just indicated, give him a few minutes more, see if he can run it off.
Yobo is still walking rather gingerly down there. As you can see, he's clearly got a problem. Thought he was going to be okay, Gordon, but hasn't managed to shake it off.
Oh, it's some kind of ankle damage. He's limping when he's walking, limping when he's running. It's just Everton at this moment in time.
This might be useful for Everton. It's Leon Osman, and still not a bad effort, you know, from Leon Osman, who's been amongst the goals in recent months.
Well, I think he's been one of their better forwards this season, Osman, and I tell you what, he does well here, because he's picked this ball up on the right-hand side of the pitch, comes running across the pitch, one nudge, another nudge, and then decides to let rip with his left foot. Not that far away.
Here's Ray Parlour. He would have had mixed emotions himself last Sunday, by the way. Grew up as a West Ham fan. Too much on that delivery. Or is there? Naismith has to head away, and it will be a Middlesbrough throw. And out of what looked like being a wasted opportunity, they can apply more pressure here.
Going straight in the line, didn't it? Yes, Naismith looking across the assistant referee to see whether it went out of play. Cross, but never.
Here's Yakubu! And out of nothing, he shows a sign of just what he's capable of. Yakubu, this time just off target.
Well, it doesn't look a great deal on here. There's a lot of Everton players round about Yakubu when he picks this ball up. Doesn't look anything on at all. He's at the corner of the 18-yard box. decides to have a shot, and it's a good shot as well. It's got Richard Wright scrambling towards that near post. Decent effort.
This is 100th appearance in the Premier League today, Yakubu, and he's been making quite an impact on the game since he came to this country.
Well, he could do with a goal today. It'd be a big confidence booster for him. Goals have dried up somewhat for him of late. They want to put pressure on Steve McClaren to pick him for the UEFA Cup final. Quite a few players on this pitch today in the same position. Egiog, Parla, well, maybe fancying their chances.
Middlesbrough do tend to have goals about them. They've scored in 9 of their last 10 Premier League matches. Only time they had a goalless outing was in the 1-0 defeat at Portsmouth in the middle of April. Ended up, which Richard Wright has to come and claim. Malcolm Christie challenging for the ball there, and I guess he had every right to do so.
Well, once again, it's a cross coming in from the left from Adam Johnson, who's passed Yoba there pretty comfortably. David Moyes might decide just to take him off. I mean, it's a free kick to Christian Wright, there's no question about that. James Morrison might have done a little bit better, cushioned the head up a little bit better than he did. And it came in from the left-hand side.
Christie with the layoff for James Morrison. And there's Tony McMahon in support. It's back with Morrison. Can he get a cross in? Tries to force to the byline himself. Still Morrison. Comfortable in the end for Richard Wright.
Yeah, he just whipped that one in at the near post. Tony McMahon had pushed forward from the right back area. In at the near post. Goalkeeper comes and scoops that one up.
Egiog shakes his head and says, no foul, ref. What do you think, Gordon?
Well, James Beattie's backing in a bit here. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Egiog wraps his arm round him. Beattie going to have a go. Scored for this kind of distance before. Packs a fair old shot.
James Beattie standing over it, so too Andy van der Meijden. It will be James Beattie. It's on target. Jones has to save, and does. The rebound is not dealt with sufficiently. Beattie hoists one into the back post, where Stubbs will challenge. And it will be a corner kick here for Everton after Brad Jones makes the initial save.
Well, it's on target. It's a good effort by James Beattie. Brad Jones palms it out. Fortunately not in the path of the onrushing Davis or Osman. It's an Everton corner.
What can Everton do with this corner kick? It's Stubbs who'll knock it back in. In fact, his header was deflected slightly away from the penalty area. And now here comes a 4-on-1 attack for Middlesbrough, but Yakubu has tripped over the ball. A golden opportunity there, and now the offside flag is raised. And when your luck's not in, your luck's really not in for Yakubu.
Oh my goodness, they're hitting Everton in the counter-attack. Everton could be in all sorts of trouble here. And Yakubu just stumbles. All he needs to do is roll that ball over the left-hand side of the pitch to Malcolm Christie, who's in acres of space. And he falls over.
James Morrison is there to try and tackle. Still James McFadden surges forward though. Through traffic he goes, and still McFadden. And he might well be asking himself quite what he's got to do to get a free kick there.
Well, he's going to have another little moan at the referee, and he's had a couple of them already. He'll need to watch. He's going to get booked for dissent here. In fact, who's he booking? It looks as if he's booked Ray Parlour here for the earlier incident. I thought he might have been bringing the card out there for James McFadden, who's been chipping at him a bit. Looked like maybe one or two little fouls in McFadden as he's trying to make his way towards the Borough goal there. I mean, he is a player with great dribbling ability, great close control. I mean, Parlour has a little flick at him here, not a lot in it, but he books Parlour for it.
Yeah, no free kick given. Phil Neville with the long throw again. Headed away, but Davis is going to try and keep it in again. Gerbo will knock it back. Yakubu gets it now. And here come Middlesbrough once again on the counter-attack. time it's Malcolm Christie. Here is Ray Parlour. Tariba slips. I don't know if there's a big hole down there that we're not quite seeing, Gordon. That was in the same spot that Yakubu stumbled on. Simon Davis for Everton now. Good run this. Can he deliver a decent ball? He can't, and it's all because of the tackle from Hugo Ekio.
Well, managers encourage their forwards to run at defenders, particularly in the box, but what a terrific bit of defending there by Hugo Ekio.
And it goes. Brad Jones is there again. Bit of a decision Steve McLaren has to make. Does he risk playing Mark Schwarzer in the UEFA Cup final with a protective mask, or will that not be a sensible decision to make? Who knows?
Well, I think if he can get away with wearing a mask, Mark Schwarzer would certainly want to play, there's no doubt about that. He's obviously got the World Cup finals coming up as well. If there's going to be no further damage done, well, wear a mask.
There's Naismith in from behind. Nelson will come over here and show a yellow card for Gary Naismith.
Well, it's a tackle in behind, it's just not allowed. Quite simple, just not allowed. Gary Naismith trying to say he made contact with the ball first, but that's classed as a tackle from behind. I mean, the little block on Morrison earlier, referee takes that into consideration. It's a chance for Adam Johnston to come over and left-footed player just put this one in at head height. Everton giving a nice high line.
Adam Johnson, who's been with the club since the age of 10 years old, sees his free kick cleared away by Everton. Ray Parlour is dispossessed and he's gone down injured now. Need to be a bit of a cruncher for Ray Parlour. Everton will play on here. Into space it goes. Brad Jones will come across. Ray Parlour's back on his feet. And as we have 2 minutes added on here at the end of the first half, Ray Parlour is back on his feet and wincing somewhat. And Almeida with the layoff for James Beattie, who's come very deep. Simon Davis in an advanced position, but he can't reach it. Here's Adam Johnson to run at the Everton defence. Naismith will chest it back. Richard Wright is there. Malcolm Christie sniffing around for any little spillages. Are strong at home. 4 wins in their last 5 games here at the Riverside Stadium. At the moment they are in control of this game as we count down towards half-time. Ekiok strong against Beattie. And that effort perhaps sums up the first half from Everton's point of view, from Leon Osman. Have struggled to score goals this season, Everton. They've scored only 31 in this campaign. Only the bottom 3 have scored less than them. And they haven't had a goal in their last 4 games, Gordon.
No, there's been, after the drama of midweek, I mean, this game's been dull to say the least. It certainly isn't a classic, pitch a bit bumpy. I think Middlesbrough have been the better side in the first half. Adam Johnston down the left-hand side, pretty productive for Middlesbrough. But neither goalkeeper had a great deal to do it.
That could all change in an instant, of course. Here we are in stoppage time. Johnson. Taylor going forward as well. Evelyn with the tackle. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, we might have seen drama in midweek here for Middlesbrough, but so far in the opening 45 minutes of play here, it's not been the most entertaining night or afternoon they've seen at the Riverside. Neither keeper really with any chances. James Beattie, who has a fine scoring record against Middlesbrough, yet to create any clear-cut chances on goal. Richard Wright at the other end, also untested so far. The good news, folks, it can only go one way, and that is up in the second half. Half-time here at the Riverside. It's Middlesbrough 0, Everton 0. Everton get us off and underway here in the second half then at the Riverside Stadium. Goalless after the interval and the introduction of Kevin Kilban. sees him get an early touch to take this throw. Gordon, I wonder what effect that'll have on this game.
Well, certainly Van der Meijden had no effect in the game in the first half, so whether he's done it for tactical reasons, hoping to get a bit more out of Kevin Coban than he did the Dutchman, or he's picked up a little bit of a knock, I would expect one or two that Middlesbrough youngsters to got a run out this second half. Not a bad effort by James Beattie. Good free kick that he had in the first half. He started this second half trying a shot at goal there, just trying to bend that one.
Heads away. Malcolm Christie uses his chest to control and then shrugs off the challenge of Davis. Yakubu does the same, threads it in for Malcolm Christie, who's brave in there. So too's the keeper, Richard Wright. Both going for the ball, and Richard Wright could be in trouble here.
Yeah, it was a lovely weighted pass just in behind by Yakubu here. Malcolm Christie, desperate to get on the score sheet, races after this one. Yakubu looks up, lovely little through ball, but Richard Wright, ever so brave, comes flying out his goals, very alert, smothers the ball at the feet of Christie, picks up an injury. Hopefully he'll be all right. Always a chance when you get a collision of that, like that. Somebody picking up some kind of knot.
Beattie too far forward of McFadden. Stubbs away. Deriva forward, looking for Yakubu. Tries to roll his man, David Weir. Still Yakubu, cuts in field, down he goes. And that'll be a free kick on the outside of the area.
Well, it's certainly not a book out. The referee doesn't bring his book out, but he just picks it up in the corner of the box here. Yakubu looks up and knocks it through the legs of David Weir. As they're coming together. Is it worth a pot at goal from this angle?
Morrison stands over it. We have the inexperienced Ian Turner in goal. May well be worth a shot on target here, who knows. Morrison stands over it.
Maybe the Morrison shot. Johnson to the back post.
It is Johnson, in it comes, and it goes again. Johnson will keep it in, does well to stay on his feet. He does well to keep the ball at his feet. Doesn't do so well with the cross though. Weir heads away. McFadden slides it forward, looking for Leon Osman. Into the Borough half they go. And Everton will be happy to see the danger clear.
Yeah, I think Adam Johnson's going to be a player that's in a year or two's time is going to develop into a big player here at Middlesbrough. Oh, got Stuart Downing to contend with.
It's going to be one of the most successful youth academies at the moment. Osman's cross will pick out Jones. If you look at the likes of McMahon and Wheater, Johnson, Morrison all in the side today. Downing involved as well, Parnaby too. You've got the likes of Bates, and I'm sure you'll mention some more that I've forgotten as well.
Well, it's not an overnight thing, it's something I've worked on for a lot of years at Middlesbrough, something I've invested heavily in, even when there was not a lot of money at this football club. Steve Gibson seen that as the way forward. Always made money available for people that were running the youth policies. They've done a particularly good job. Mentioned some names earlier. Dave Parnaby, father of Stuart, of course. Ron Bowen, recruitment officer. Stan Nixon. He's got a lot to do with the coaching the players at a very young age. Paul Jenks works full time up at the academy. All conscientious, all hard working, and all good at their job. That coupled with investment in youth. And Steve Gibson has been very productive indeed, particularly in the last two seasons.
Here they come again, with numbers forward. Morrison can't get the cross away. Sunshine drenching two-thirds of the pitch down there in front of us. Smith does well. Did that go out of play? Assistant on the far side says no. Guecchio jumps, but doesn't win the header. Andrew Taylor will kick it on. It's fallen nicely to Yakubu. Christie in support in the middle. Ray Parlour making a run. That took a deflection. And Ian Turner scrambling away. Sees the ball whizzed past for a corner.
Well, maybe that's the type of break Yakubu needs just now, and the goals have dried up. He nearly gets very lucky here, because this shot's going nowhere, and it takes a wicked deflection. Scott Ian Turner scrambling across his goal. Looks as though it's going to sneak in at that far post. Doesn't. Goes out for a Borough corner.
And here comes that corner. Flicked on there at the near post. It was Wheater who had the header. Yakubu can't get the cross away. James McFadden will clear for Everton again. Can they mount a counter-attack here? Andy Taylor does well to beat McFadden with a change of pace. Looks for Yakubu. And his good friend Joseph Yobo marking him pretty closely. Here's Parlour. Christie with the layuff, finds Ray Parlour. Parlour tries to pick out Christie again, he goes down. And the little tackle that's made on Malcolm Christie, he'll be breathing a big sigh of relief that he emerges unscathed.
Yeah, I think Naismith will as well, because he's already been booked in this match. He mistimes that one a little bit. It's a free kick. The referee didn't see it as particularly malicious, but he needs to tread carefully.
Dangerous opportunity this.
That's poor delivery. Poor delivery.
Taylor forward. James McFadden hasn't really had any click-up chances for a goal himself this afternoon. And they have Everton here in the second half. Taylor in field, looking for Morrison. Yakubu is there to try and tackle McFadden, who's fouled. Free kick taken quickly. Davis, now Yobo. Neville involved in the build-up here again. Davis's ball won't reach Beattie. Yakubu, good hold-up play from the Nigerian. Deriva. Smart football from Middlesbrough. McMahon. Deriva wants it and gets it. Ian Turner looks for Adam Johnson. Johnson to run it. Yobo now. Johnson does well, but he just sliced the shot away. Not a bad effort from young Adam Johnson.
Well, it goes for power at the near post there. No real support. Yakubu making tracks into the penalty box. He decides to go it alone. Yobo giving him too much space there. Encourages him to have a shot. Got to hit the ball across the goal.
Adam Johnson, who joined the club at the age of 10. He was spotted playing for Cleveland Juniors. Went on to make his Premiership debut against Arsenal, of all clubs, in September's 2-1 win.
Well, all these young players at Middlesbrough Football Club come from round about the area, which is astonishing. It's the policy of this football club. You look at some clubs, just one foreigner after another, one young foreigner after another in their academies.
McFadden goes down here, and this is going to be a dangerous free kick for Everton. They just get back out of the penalty area, Gordon.
Yeah, well, he just encourages the tackle. James McFadden to get such good close control. They just tend to get fouled a lot, wins a lot of free kicks. This time they've won one in a dangerous position.
Referee Mason just urging the wall to get back the full 10 yards. Brad Jones organising the wall. Great with Hugo Ekiog.
Great left foot, McFadden as well. I mean, he's got really good technique. Brad Jones will have to be alert.
We're in the 68th minute, and Brad Jones has pulled out a save, which possibly keeps his side on level terms here.
Now that's good in. It's good technique, gets the ball up, gets it down. He's got into the corner. I said Brad Jones would have to stay alert. Well, he did. Closest Everton have came in this match.
Comes the corner kick, taken short to Davis. Back in from McFadden, looking for Stubbs on the far post. And away it goes for a goal kick.
Well, McFadden just flights that cross to the back post there. Too high. Should have whipped it in a bit, but it's a terrific free kick. He does everything right. So does Brad Jones.
Looks to have just lost a boot down there. Good play from Adam Johnson, but can only win a throw there. Taylor pushes up to take it for Middlesbrough.
The head steward is to return to his post.
Taylor forward, finds Johnson. And that's a lunge from Joseph Yobo. Off his feet he went. And that will be a yellow card for the Everton man.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing there. I mean, it's just the trickery of Johnson. Beats them all ends up there, but just another one of the youngsters. I make it 8 of the academy players on the pitch just now. Remarkable. Adam Johnston, pick of the bunch today. Took it quick.
Taken quickly indeed. Middlesbrough can't take advantage. Everton on the counter-attack again through Davis, who's all on his own. 6 Borough players tracking him back, but still Simon Davis, and still Simon Davis, and into the side netting he goes. And finally he had some support, and in the end he opted to shoot.
Well, he doesn't use it because James McFadden, you just roll this across the box. James McFadden, 7-8 yards from goal. I mean, it looks as if Morrison might give a penalty away here. He dives in. Davis hops over the challenge. I don't really know what he's thinking about there. It just wasn't on. Goalkeeper's got the near post covered. The angle's too tight. Just look up, roll it across your 6-yard box, and James McFadden says thanks very much.
Rita heads away. Kubu loses out in the air to David Weir. James McFadden now. 14 minutes left to go in this game. Leon Osman. Try and run at Taylor. Catamol back to help out. McFadden leaves it for Davis. Possibly not intentionally. Alan Stubbs. Good control by Leon Osman. Needs a bit of help perhaps. Taylor with the tackle. And Johnson helping out. These youngsters have looked impressive this afternoon for Middlesbrough. You're under a bit of pressure now though. McFadden. Phil Neville's made a run into the box. McFadden might go alone! He does go alone, and it's a corner kick.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of deflection there. It looked as if it was going to open up for McFadden there. Eggiog reads the danger, comes out to get the block in. Takes a little deflection off his chin. Off his shin, not his chin rather. Shot was a bit lower than that. It's an Everton corner now.
If it was Jimmy Hill, it might have been his chin. Everton fans behind the goal, making plenty of noise. Can they take advantage from this corner kick? David Weir is the target. Flicked back on by Stubbs, headed in by Davis, still the danger not yet clear. Flicked in by Stubbs again. Osman is there, Beattie tries the spectacular. And in the end, it's Catamol who gets it away. Kevin Kilban now. Everton not prepared to leave here without making a fight of it in the closing stages. Good ball in. But they can't capitalise, and they could well be exposed a bit at the back here. Kubu pushing forward. Johnson on the overlap on the left-hand side. Morrison just stumbles over the ball, finds Parler. Catamol. Taylor pushing on. Everton have numbers back now. Robo heads away. Timo can't beat Phil Neville to the ball, and now it's Simon Davis again to emerge for Everton. Beattie goes on a run, Brad Jones comes out. Luckily for him, there was enough pace on that ball to take it into the penalty area, well ahead of James Beattie. Here's Yakubu, big chance now for Middlesbrough. Still Yakubu! Oh, just wide from the Nigerian. And it's the best chance of the game, and Steve McLaren holds his head in his hands.
Well, I tell you what, he makes this chance himself. I mean, the ball comes into the box. I mean, he does ever so well here. Clever little flick on. No room to shoot there. Comes inside, Stubbs, Naismith, left-footed shot. Looks as though it's going to go into right into the top corner of the net for the angle we're sitting at. Whizzes past the post. Great effort with Yakubu.
What an effort that was by Yakubu, and that would have taken him on to 20 goals for the season. A landmark which as yet still eludes him, but there is time still for him to score here today. Is there a goal in this game? Brad Jones forward with the long clearance. Lee Catamol slipped and almost took out the referee. A little bit late there by Osman on Taylor. Mason from Bolton, very inexperienced at Premiership level. Only 2 games before today he's taken charge of in the top flight of English football.
I think he's handled it pretty well. I know he's inexperienced, but he certainly hasn't been over fussy, something that drives me mad. There's been a couple of bookings, but by and large he's letting the game flow. It helps when both sets of players behave themselves, which they basically have done today.
They have indeed. Here's McMahon. Ray Parlour, square of him is Catamol again. Scored against Manchester City, I seem to recall. Lee Catamol. Adam Johnson will keep it in. Tries to get past Yobo. Gets a great ball in. Stubbs has to clear away. And there could yet be a goal in this for Middlesbrough, you know. 2.5 minutes to find it.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls coming from wide areas, but credit to Everton, they've defended their penalty box well. Did it once again there. I think Steve McFadden will be well pleased with the performance of his side. I mean, this is a really young Middlesbrough side and they've done ever so well.
Indeed they have, and they might yet go on to win this. Adam Johnson. Fine delivery from the left side, looking for Yakubu and Catamol challenging. Everton emerge, counter-attack is on, ball in behind, Brad Jones has committed himself. It's in, is it? Yes! James McFadden! With 2 minutes left in the game at Middlesbrough, scores a fine individual goal, and the huge travelling support from Goodison Park go wild behind the goal. James McFadden wins it for Everton.
Well, it's great counter-attacking play by Everton. Probably the inexperience of Middlesbrough catching them out there. Certainly the inexperience of Brad Jones, who should have stayed in his line. He makes a mistake, a rushing out his goal. Makes it an easy decision for McFadden. Just lift it over Brad Jones' head and into the back of the net. I don't believe it's a victory. It looks like an Everton victory that they deserve. But good bit of technique by James McFadden, who came close earlier on in this game. But Brad Jones, showing his inexperience here, I'm afraid, should have stayed in the line. Made McFadden's mind up for him. Looks up, over you go, into the back of the net.
4 goals in 9 games, but the error from Brad Jones, who committed himself early, but ultimately didn't reach the ball. Gave him a big helping hand. And all of a sudden, what looked like being a sterling performance from a team full of kids has been turned on its head by James McFadden. Well, we're just seconds away from seeing how much stoppage time will be added on at the end of this match.
Well, it's certainly been a more open second half. I mean, the first half was pretty dull fare, wasn't enjoyable at all. A little bit more open the second half. If Middlesbrough are going to lose all 3 points today, Everton pick them up.
3 minutes added on here, Gordon.
Well, I think they could consider themselves unlucky if they lose it. I mean, Steve McFadden's got a lot to be pleased about with the performance of this very, very young Middlesbrough side, and it's inexperience that's cost them. Unfortunate for Brad Jones. I mean, Middlesbrough's youthful exuberance throwing everybody forward the last couple of minutes here to try and get what they thought if they got would be the winning goal. Got caught in the counter-attack. Credit to James McFadden, good run forward and good technique.
Everton pushing forward again. They love that 1-0 scoreline, don't they? Looks like being 10 wins out of 14 by a 1-0 scoreline. Certainly will be if it stays like this.
And a little booking there for Lee Carton, while he hasn't been on that long, but managed to pick up a yellow card there.
Free kick is taken, and Everton, quite rightly I suppose at this stage of the game, will try and keep it in the corner. Kevin Kilban emerges with it here, and peeling away is Leon Osman. Tries to chest it down, can't get the ball under control, and out of nowhere Kevin Kilban almost conjured up a second.
Well, he peels off there, and Leon Osman received the ball for Kevin Kilban, but Kevin Kilban absolutely smashed it towards his chest, gave him no chance at all. Kevin Kilban there just acknowledging that to Osman. Sorry about the pass, mate, it was awful.
Well, it would end a winless streak for Everton if it stays like this. Haven't won in 6 games before today, and they are just moments away from securing a victory here at the Riverside.
Well, David Moyes will be absolutely delighted with the 3 points. He knows his side haven't played particularly well today, but at the same time Steve McFadden knows that the future of this club is in good hands, and they get so many good young players coming through. Considering themselves unfortunate to finish up on the losing side today.
Still time for Borough to fight back though. Alan Stubbs in with a big challenge as James Morrison pushed on. Forward it goes from Middlesbrough. And it was a pretty speculative ball in. Here's Catamol. Tries to pick out Adam Johnson, but it's intercepted by Leon Osman. He leaves it for Beattie. And there is the full-time whistle. It's a smash and grab raid at the Riverside from Everton. James McFadden with the winning goal for David Moyes' side. It's their first win in 7 games, and it was a fine finish from James McFadden to secure all 3 points. His 4th goal in 9 games. It sends the Everton fans home happy here from the Riverside Stadium. And just possibly there's a smile on the face of Brad Jones, who knows he maybe could have done better, but he's still big enough and man enough to shake hands with the goal scorer and smile about it. And after a draining, gruelling week for Middlesbrough Football Club, this was just one game too many for them. David Moyes' side picking up another 3 points as they look to try and finish the season on a high. And he'll be happy to leave the Riverside with all 3 points, having seen his side not play particularly well this afternoon. James Beattie still searching, but this victory perhaps dedicated to the legend Rambo. Full-time score here at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 0, Everton 1.
We didn't pass the ball well. We were second to most things. We didn't play well at all. There were a lot of things that needed to be sorted out. Fortunately, I think a lot of them were sorted out by the manager at half-time, and it was a better performance. Not a great performance, but a better performance in the second half.
The kids were marvellous. You know, we made 9 changes, and they came against a very strong Everton team, dominated long periods of the game, and we were unfortunate not to score. And it looked like a 0-0. And I think that would have been probably a fair result, and the young lads would have been cheered by that. Unfortunately, we've lacked concentration in the last minute, and the players are disappointed, as I am, because they didn't deserve that.
Terrific, yeah, really good finish. One of the rare moments of quality that we actually showed in large parts of the game. Very good goal right from the beginning. It was a good defensive header by Alan Stubbs, a great ball by Leon Osman, and a terrific finish by James McFadden.
And it was good for the Everton fans to have that goal scored in front of them. Huge support for you today.
The fans are fantastic. There's always a huge support. You know, they follow us everywhere, and I mean everywhere, including pre-season games and things as well. They've always been the same. I guess they always will be the same. That's the culture of the club, and the way that the fans react to everything. And yeah, it was good that the goal was scored at that end, but at the same time they'd have been delighted if it'd been down the other end.
I mean, it's hectic, but we're preparing for a final, and we're using these games to give the young players a game, and the experienced ones like Parla, Egiog and Deriva, and we'll do the same again at Old Trafford and at Bolton on Wednesday and at Fulham next Sunday. And then you know, that's the preparation time, and we've got to make sure we get it right and make sure that we're ready for this final. That's the key. Everything is geared towards the final on May the 10th.
We're disappointed because we feel we've controlled the game, done enough to at least get a point out of it, and feel a little bit robbed really. But that's what happens when you don't concentrate.
So Everton beat Middlesbrough by 1-0 at the Riverside.